Hey, everybody, it is Tim Gillette, and we're back for another episode of The Tim Gillette Show. Now, I know my name is on the title, but the show is not about me. It's about real conversations with real influencers, people who are really making a difference in the world. You know, I know we can see everything we want to on a global scale, but some of these people are right. We bring on our show are the ones that are making changes. They start in the home front and work with the people in their neighborhoods and then take it out to the world, which is why they're on our show today to tell you. So today's guest, I know nothing about this guy. I know nothing about him. He found us through our great system we have automated. He's coming on the show. I'm sure he'll tell me where he even lives. I don't even know where the guy lives, man. That's what's cool about this. But that's part of why I do the show. I get to meet people. I have a conversation with them, and you get to see for the first time I'm getting to know them. And we record it live, broadcast it live, and record it so you guys can actually see it. So Charlie is someone that's coming through here. All right. We're going to find out even what he does, where he lives, all that stuff. And we're going to find out together. Let's bring him on up here. Hey, Charlie, you there? Uh-oh, I got a black screen on. There you are.
Oh, yes.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Hello. Pretty good. Thanks for having me on your show. This is really cool.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, Charlie, I mean, I got to ask, how'd you even find us?
Through a mutual friend. He actually recommended you because he knows that I run a business. And he said, hey, I really think you should check out this podcast. He said the guy's really good, very welcoming, kind. He's like, I had a really good time on his podcast. So he just felt it was the right opportunity for me.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, I don't even know what part of the country are you even in, Charlie?
I'm in your backyard.
You're in my backyard?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. No, that's to the south. My backyard is Capel, Texas.
Okay.
I'll be in Houston next month. I'm coming down. I'll be down the convention center next month for a real estate deal I'm part of. So, yeah. So
awesome.
But how's the weather down there? You guys got some ice and stuff like we got?
Not as bad as you all, because I believe you guys are out in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't get as cool temps down here. It could have iced over, but no, it just didn't stick. So
cool, man. I'm glad. I'm glad you were able to keep doing business today. I had to make my coffee at home. I couldn't go to Starbucks.
Yeah, I hear things are pretty harsh over there right now. Let's see how ERCOT takes care of things.
Yeah, let's see if they take care of us this time. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Charlie, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you what kind of business you got going on and how you're helping people.
Sure. So I founded a business known as CAP. That's the brand, CAP. Yep, you can see it on my shirt.
CAP, yeah.
Okay. So basically, it was founded in 2017, and the whole idea was to make a business profitable enough to give back to the community. But as you've mentioned, the pandemic and so forth has created some economic challenges for everybody. Inflation's up. But basically, the whole business model is we run personal training and fitness programs here in the Houston area. And we've also established a local apparel and sportswear brand for athletes or people who just want to wear it to basically promote outdoor fitness and activity. And with what we earn, we basically give it back to the community. So I'll offer professional or amateur athlete sponsorships. And that's basically kind of in a nutshell what we've done today. But we don't plan on stopping there. So there will be more plans to come in the future.
How many athletes are you sponsoring now?
Good question. Right now we have about 7 active athletes on the roster. Being an athlete is very challenging. So for one, it's very hard because some of these people either they're working full-time jobs or they are in a professional state, but they're just not officially at that point where they want to be. So, we see a combination of like injuries or just like setbacks because of, personal stuff that happens. But yeah, for the most part, I think we've got about 7 to 10 active.
7 to 10. Cool.
Yeah, we call them our CAP advocates, and they're the ones out there, representing our brand and putting a good name out there for us. So, they're very good reflection of what we believe in.
Cool. And what is the level of your athletes right now? Are they, the professional level? Are they, the B teams, any Olympians, since we just got done with the Olympics, things like that? Yeah.
Well, not exactly, but for example, we've got one professional MMA fighter out of Texas City. His name's Josh Autumn. He's doing really good things, building up his name. We've got another really good power lifter here. His name's Matt Velez. He's an amateur, and he's got some pretty big goals in mind. And another kind of standout young rising athlete, her name is Lana Lee. And she's actually out of Magnolia, Texas, and she is a wakeboarder. So it's pretty cool to see a female athlete in a predominantly male-driven sport, but she's out there hitting some of the sickest tricks out there, and it's really cool to see everybody's progression. Definitely.
Yeah. So, and is there specific sports that you work with that you sponsor your athletes in, or are you still open to all kinds of
Yeah, and that's what makes our system so beautiful, is that we don't exactly have a specific niche market. What we look for is positive people who can actually, what I feel like, make a difference within the community by how they carry themselves, and by their ability to have that natural drive to want to progress in a sport. And I feel like it helps mold them into overall just like more career-driven people. And that I'm also speaking of based on my personal experiences. But no, we don't have a specific niche market. We are open to all different avenues of athletes: CrossFit, surfing, jiu-jitsu, MMA, boxing. Anything that is pretty much considered a sport, we're capable of creating a market and advertisement out of it, and helping athletes become the best version of themselves. There's no limit with what we do.
No. Now, you did mention in there that you like them to be a positive influence in their sport as well as their community. Are you putting requirements in there for your sponsorships, going, okay, as us sponsoring you, we want you to show up for certain kids functions in your sport. We want you to make an appearance, things like that.
Really the biggest push is just to be consistent with their training. And when they have an opportunity, to go out there and compete for us. So, it's pressure driven, which from a business standpoint, a lot of them can have a lot of things in black and white and on fine print that's kind of creating these other lingering underlying challenges. But for the most part, no, it's pretty straight to the point. If you're eager and hungry, you're going to get out there and compete. If you're not, well, we would at least like to see you active training, or at least doing something beneficial to not only yourself but to the community.
So, and then I assume then, since you said you were in the clothing business, I assume one of their contracts is they have to wear your clothing almost everywhere they're seen publicly.
See, you're a smart guy, Tim Gillette. That's why I joined the podcast, because I saw something in you as well.
That would be the first thing I would do, is like, yes, we're gonna sponsor you, but you have to wear our clothing everywhere. Yeah. You got to get the cup too. Yep. So, and I assume there's a bunch of cap wear coming to me, right?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. Yeah. So, on that note, I did want to mention, so like our established brand is CAP. What it stands for when we initially came up with the idea is Complete Athlete Performance. Yeah. So we have 100% ownership of the trademark. You'll officially, you can find us with USPTO. So we're an established brand and company. We've also branded our slogan, which is becoming very popular as well: Capture Your Goals. That's our other slogan. We own that brand 100% as well. So it kind of goes hand in hand, because it does. Everybody's going through personal challenges and experiences, and it's just really cool to see when people are wearing CAP, that in their mind, it's reminding them to go out and capture their goals. So it's multi-marketing in its own sense, but everything is natural. Everything you're seeing and what we're discussing was literally made from scratch.
Yeah. Well, I assume that too. Like, you know what I mean? When you talk, capture, or repeat it for me again. Capture your
goals.
Capture your goals. I
Yes,
assume that becomes a living value for your athletes. When you think about it, all
absolutely.
right, that's like, okay, yeah, my athlete's not only wearing this, but my athletes live this. Is that right?
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
you're right on. You're right
Yeah.
on cue.
And
Exactly.
I think that's missing in a lot of our businesses today, where we don't think about the values. I know here in the Dallas area, I'm good friends with Kim and Sandra Yancey from eWomen Networks. They live their values in everything they do, and that's probably why they've been around for 20 years, right? They're a business who lives that. And in our athlete world, all right, we've seen quite a few questionable ones in the professional world where we want to see people live in values, and it seems like you're a value-driven business.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, those are very fine comments. And the whole idea behind this is it's about giving back.
Mhm.
And the only way to make stuff like that possible, I founded this back in 2017. So, I don't want to say I'm the face of the brand, but like I said, I've had my fair share of struggles throughout the journey.
Mhm.
But when you see the finished product, it just makes everything so worthwhile because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't exactly see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take a lot of pride in what we do, and I'm just kind of looking forward to what else the future has in store for us. But I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get back into why you started this. All right. What's your story behind why you wanted to do this? All right. Were you an athlete, or were you looking for sponsorship? What started you?
Yes, so I was an active athlete for about 6 years and did jujitsu. I was an active competitor. And I just kind of felt like from my personal experiences, I don't think I marketed myself the way I would have done it now. So the whole vision is, why not offer sponsorships to these young athletes or already motivated and athletes to give them the opportunity that I didn't have because I felt that I was capable of exceeding my personal goals if I just would have had the right support system. And one of the biggest things that I do see contributing toward that is finances. If you don't have the right money, you can't travel. If you don't have the right money, you can't get the proper nutrition intake. You can't get the proper physical training or coaching. There's levels to everything and anything in this world. And I didn't get to experience all those things as a young athlete. I was kind of bouncing between working a full-time job, going to college, and trying to make a career out of it.
Mhm.
So there came a point in time where I just had to invest into myself, and that was going to college. So I'm very thankful for that now because it's allowed me to really brainstorm and bring something to life that I didn't get to enjoy growing up as an athlete.
Cool. Cool. Well, I mean, when you talk about education, getting the correct coaches and stuff, are you building then a team of personal coaches and health coaches for these athletes to go, hey, listen, we may not be able to train you on the exact things of jujitsu, but we can get someone to help you make sure your health is in shape.
Yeah, so I definitely asked like the athletes questions and kind of asked them like what they're doing, and I've also like recently been certified through a company for sports performance and human performance training. So yeah, I feel like I do have a little bit of an emphasis as far as like you know uh, how much strain they're putting on their body rigorously through training, and telling them, hey, it sounds like you're training pretty hard. Maybe it's time to tone it down a little bit.
Mhm.
Your body needs rest. So I truly believe that there's a I don't want to say there's an easier way to doing things, but there's a smarter way to get those results, the same results, without putting as much wear and tear on your body. And
Mhm.
I truly believe that athletes are capable of accomplishing many things. But as far as to answer your direct question, I have had a couple guys reach out to me that kind of want me to start to build up, our own team of coaches and trainers.
Mhm.
But I'm not at that point yet.
Okay. 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 It seems like that's like a bigger goal down the line of being that one complete center for the athletes to come to once you sponsor them.
Yeah.
And then actually it would make it making you an ideal company to be sponsored by. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's kind of the beauty behind what we exactly do, because we're not one dimensional. We are open to networking and learning from all aspects of life, so to say. From a sport standpoint, we don't exactly cater to one specific training regimen. If you look at me directly, like, man, I enjoy swimming. I like getting out there and learning how to surf. I like trying to do wakeboarding. I like trying to do CrossFit. I like running. I like all forms of training. I like weight training. It's just, I really feel that's what makes like a complete athlete. It's just compounding so many different training regiments. I kind of consider myself like the modern Bruce Lee for fitness.
Yeah. Cool. That's a pretty intense definition. Here in Texas, we'd say the Chuck Norris, but anyway.
There we go. Yeah, exactly. I'm just missing the cowboy hat.
Yeah. And it's interesting. So you started this 2017. Before you did this, all right, did you come right out of school and do this, or did you work a job and go, you know what, I want to go do this instead?
That's actually a very good question, because a lot of people are under the impression that I actually do this full time. I don't.
Oh, wow.
But because the brand is so like established and known, people constantly are under the interpretation that is what I do full time, but that's actually not what I do full time. So I've actually been in higher education for over 10 years, working at a college, helping with the finance side of things. So it's been a really cool experience from that as well. But what really gave me the confidence to do so was finishing my bachelor's degree at the University of Houston. So my major was technology, leadership, and innovation management, with a minor in supply chain and logistics.
Okay. Well, you've got more education than I do. All right. I got the education of hard knocks, but anyway. But I mean, I look at the modern day. I know, my kids, none of them have made it all the way through school. They went in like 2 or 3 years, and then they found something they liked to do, and they went and did it. All right. And I was kind of that way, that I found that before I went to college. My wife's got a master's, and my mom's college educated. So was my dad. And my brother also has a master's, but like I couldn't concentrate enough. But it seems like that's dedication right there, that you, number one, you're working in the education system, but number two, all right, that you go, I'm going to finish this and learn. All right. And that's part of training, even as an athlete. All right. You got to finish things. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like that all kind of goes back to like capture your goals.
Yeah,
because I was actually still in college when we founded this. I don't think I mentioned that, actually. I think I said the reverse of that, actually. I think I was going to school.
Yeah, but now let's get it right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to school during the process, and just all this like spark of like energy and ideas just came to life, and I said, you know what, let's do it. Mm-hmm. So this is something that there's no other like second or third party investors or stuff like that. This was something that was like literally brought up from scratch. I'm not joking.
That's cool. So and is this, and you feel, Charlie, this is part of your life mission. So you're not like, hey, I'm going to build this and sell it off as an entrepreneur, are you?
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that as well, because I've had people reach out and say, hey, have you ever thought about selling this? And I think I'm pretty much quite invested. I don't see myself doing anything differently, not even for like the next 10 years. Yeah. I still feel like there's a lot of growth and opportunity based on what's established. And, some things are brought into existence, and it's kind of hard to put a dollar sign on it. And I just feel like that's exactly what happens.
But let's just put it this way. If, let's say Jeff Bezos calls you and says, you know what, I'll buy it from you. You still own 50%. You could still run it, but I'm putting the money in. Now that's a buyout you might consider, because you can
then we can talk.
Yeah, because that's still going to let you still enforce your mission. All right. Exactly. And I think he did that with a company, that one shoe company. I think he did that with, and they basically ran it the same way. They ran by their same values. All right, for years. All right, because it sounds like this still it's still your heart, right? Your heart's still behind this company, And I think if your heart left the company, the value of the company and the mission would kind of go with it.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so often I see people when they're creating companies, they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about how quick can I build this to sell it? Whereas you've got a deeper value, which will probably make you grow more too, as if you were building it to sell it. I'm thinking you probably wouldn't have grown as fast as you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So what are your plans, say, for the next 5 years? All right, with to capture some more goals with as your terminology is to capture some more of your goals in your industry.
Um, just off the top of my head, I would just like to see us be able to market to a bigger audience. I feel like our vision and mission statement is like it's very transparent,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really just about gaining the right attention at the right time, so to say. Because I mean, when you think of it, Cap is it's kind of it's catchy, it's catchy, and I would just like to see it growing on a larger scale and see more people that understand the story, how it was founded, and some of these athletes what they're really doing to help build the name, and yeah, just see more people here in Texas, know what we do and to represent it here in Texas, because us Texas people, we have a lot of pride and independence. And
There's an awful lot of athletes come out of Texas too. Just saying.
yeah, oh gosh, and it's growing so much.
Yeah.
So timing is everything for sure.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. All right, was are your parents still involved, or your family members still involved in backing you in this mission, or is this something the family went, dude, I don't see your point in this, and they went the other way?
No, it's really cool actually, because when I travel places, I'll go visit family, friends, like they're wearing our apparel. And it's not because it's like, hey, like let's get together and let's all wear this for a picture. No, like the brand, like people believe in it, just as much as I do. And it took a lot. It took a lot of brain work. It took a lot of heartache and losses to get to this point. But yeah, the people that do know, they know what we stand for. So yeah, there's no gimmick behind it. Definitely.
That's good. I like that. So, and can I ask what was one of your biggest challenges you had in the past couple of years, other than COVID? Everybody had that challenge, but one of your biggest challenges in building this?
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm a big local homegrown Texas supporter,
Mhm.
and what I mean by that is a lot of people work with outside. Um, I'll just say that they work with people in other countries to bring in apparel and put their brand on it to sell it, and I like to keep the money circulating within Texas alone. So we have a lot of pride behind that, but that was kind of one of the challenges, was finding the right people to do business to help with how our designs are, and to make sure that our logos are in the right place. So I'm very thankful that after digging and going through a little trial and error, we've kind of got a better understanding of exactly what we're doing. So I really feel like here in the heart of Texas, there's a lot to offer, and sometimes you just got to walk down that unwalked path to find it.
Yeah. So and the more I see stuff in my world, all right, and I would love to buy more American-made stuff. That's me, but the more our world seems to be coming from overseas, it's like it's probably harder and harder to find somebody in America who makes the product for you.
That's what makes it challenging. Is it's all about profit margins, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, in order to keep things afloat, you have to be able to put out a business model that is cost efficient, profitable. So it comes with a lot of challenges, but I think we're capable of meeting that next phase, so to say, with Cap. It's just timing.
Cool. Yeah, cool. So, any athletes you're chasing right now that are trying to go and we want to sponsor them?
No, not exactly. Like I feel like some of the bigger names are already there. So, I just feel like when the time is right, the opportunity will present itself. we don't just allow any athlete to represent what we do. So that's what makes us kind of unique in a sense, because I mean, we very well could go out and seek somebody that's got, 100,000 followers and say, hey, we really want you to be a part of our brand and business. That's not exactly how we run things. I get my most, I guess, my most satisfaction out of watching these athletes grow and develop,
Yeah.
so. But yeah, I mean, if there's any plans in the future for that, and if their vision aligns with our goals, then we can have a conversation. Definitely.
Or do you have like a process that they have to come to you to apply? Like I know like Mike Rowe has this whole foundation behind his that people can apply for it.
When we initially launched, I did have a couple of ads go out saying, "Hey, we're looking for athletes," and I've just found over time that I feel like when you meet people like directly, or like if somebody like networking like on a more personal level, I think for me, I've seen that I'm getting like better results.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So, well, that way you also got a personal touch and a personal knowledge. I personally, it's like I host conferences, and I don't let anybody speak at my conference who I first can't do this interview with and see their eyes. So it's like a big thing. I get that you want to kind of see who they are before you get connected. So that's cool that you do that. So, what is some advice you would give to athletes who might tune into something like this? All right, that are on their journey right now.
I would definitely say first and foremost, like, don't give up. There are a lot of challenges just in life, and I know that business can be very difficult in a sports industry. So yeah, I mean, I just want to be that shine of light and encouragement. A lot of athletes are trying to find other avenues to make money, and it is possible. And if they have any specific goal in mind, just put the work in. There's going to be ups and downs. We're human. We're all emotional. It's not always going to be this picture perfect situation. But rest assured that with the right support system, and by investing your energy into the right areas, you can capture your goals.
Cool. I love it. So, Charlie, it's been cool getting to know you on here and everything. And you're truly are the surprise of the week, because I had no idea what I was interviewing. So, Charlie, I realize you're much younger than me, but when I was younger, I had a boss that gave me job advice that turned out to be life advice. And basically, he was just telling me to run my shift like I owned the business for that 4 hours of the day. And that helped me, Tim, take ownership of everything I did in my life. Did someone when you were younger give you advice that maybe it was like just how to get through one little task, but it grew a foundation in you to where it became a lifelong thing?
That's a very good
Deep
question.
question, I know.
Yeah. I would say personally, I think my mother has been a pretty big influence and mentor on my ability to overcome challenges and obstacles. I've seen her go through her own set of struggles, but my mom is one of the most coolest persons you could ever meet. I'm just basically a replica of her. So I would have to give her a lot of credit. She said, "No, you're going to go to college. You're going to do it." And she was really a stickler about it. She's like, "You're gonna do things." Like she would keep me driven. She would, even at my lowest points. She would be that extra ear that I needed, and spark of energy to, get up. If you get knocked down, get back up. And that's just how we are as people. But I think we also come from a very humble background. So it's just kind of nice to have that balance of opposites, because we're fighters, but we're also very loving and caring people. So
Cool. So, well, during the pandemic, a lot of us faced a lot of hard times, as you said, you did as well. All right. what is one victorious thing you can say over the past 2 years that has happened in your business that was very victorious to go, you know what, the pandemic happened, but Bill, this is a great point to celebrate?
I personally feel like our business model has it's a little different, but not too much. I've seen a lot of people try and make changes and try and market on a larger scale or do things differently to try and attract more of a bigger audience and to keep their business afloat. But I think for the most part, it's just just being able to get through these challenges economically and still being able to put out these sponsorships to these athletes and getting to see the end result to where, despite what's happened, we're still by their side.
Cool. It is so great to see that. So, man.
And I did want to mention one thing that just sparked my clients too, our fitness clients. It's really cool to see how they've stuck by our side as well. So I want to give them a lot of credit because they know who they are. These people have been very supportive of our mission statement and what we believe in, and seeing them continuously staying active with fitness and so forth has been really cool to me because it's allowed me to create close relationships with some of these people. Seeing their growth, not only from a physical and health standpoint, but also a mental state, because that's very important. A lot of people were dealing with depression and are still trying to get over that hump as far as depression and stress and all that. But I truly believe that fitness and positive energy with the right association is everything. And that's why our business is still operating today.
That is so good to hear. So, well, Charlie, what's the best website people can find out more about you and find out more about CAP and stuff like that?
So it's CAP, CAP, TX for Texas, USA.com.
Cool.
So CAP, TX, USA.com.
That's like kind of making a statement. It's my business. We're in Texas and we're brought to the United States.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Like I said, we are very, very local and homegrown, and we want to make that very transparent to people.
Cool. I love it. Well, I thank you for being on the show. And before you go, though, you got to play my game with me, man. I got 7 envelopes here. All right. You get to pick 3 envelopes, and I'm going to ask you the questions out of those envelopes.
And I pick a specific number, right?
You pick 3 different numbers. Yeah. 1 through 7.
I like odd numbers because I'm an odd guy. So let's do 1, 3, and 7. 1,
3, and 7. So you aren't going to know what's in these, but we're going to find out the questions that are in here one by one. You may get the girl questions. I'm just letting you know that. They're all designed to be this or that question. So I'm going to ask you to give you a choice on many of these, and you pick which one. Maybe they're going to have a conversation behind it. Maybe not. Envelope number 1, question number 1, ice cream cone or snow cone?
Ice cream cone.
Vanilla or chocolate? Come on, you got it.
Chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah. I figured as much. Which is your worst task to do, laundry or dishes?
Dishes. Hands down, dishes.
I'll do the dishes for my wife, but not the laundry. All right.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 3. Which would you rather have for breakfast, pancake or waffles?
Pancakes all day.
I figured, Texas, you were going to be a waffle guy, but anyway. Envelope number 3. See, these aren't that bad, right?
Nope.
All right. Question number 1. Phone call or text? Which do you prefer to be contacted by?
Text.
Text? I am too, man. I don't know why. It's just like I would rather you text me first before getting on a phone call.
Yeah.
I don't know why. This one should be interesting in Texas. Which scares you more, snakes or spiders?
I'm really not afraid of either of them, to be honest. But I'd probably go with the spider because I feel like when a spider, I feel like I'm more likely to get bit by a spider than a snake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Texas, you learn what kind of boots to wear to avoid the snakes. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And you know what I mean? You're younger. So this next one here might not apply to you. And that is when you're putting papers together, do you use a stapler or a paper clip?
Yeah, I still like to use a stapler. Yeah.
Okay.
I got my little office at home for Cap.
Yeah. Well, still people like, they ask me, I'm old fashioned. Here's my biggest app is my notepad.
There you go.
I still use pen and paper for a lot of stuff. So last envelope number 7.
My favorite number.
Yeah. My favorite number was 3. So
Good.
yeah, I love it when people have a favorite number. It usually says something about them. So question number 1, toilet paper at your house, does it go over on the roll or under?
Under.
Under. All right.
Under.
So in our house downstairs, it's under. Upstairs, it's still sitting on the back of the toilet. I'm like, it's my bathroom. I don't care either way.
Fair enough. You pay the bills.
That's it. But like I've had people on here, Charlie, that like that is the most controversial question you can ask them.
I'm an easygoing guy. I completely understand.
I know. I'm like, dude, just set it there. Who cares? When you need it, you just want it close by. That's all that matters.
That's it.
Question number 2 in here: beer or wine?
Beer.
Beer.
Texas.
All right.
Beer.
Like I know you're in Texas, so are you a Shiner guy?
Yeah, I can do Shiner.
Yeah. My wife, big Shiner. Like they've gone to the brewery and stuff, so they're big on that. But yeah, but we're also VIP members of Texas, one of the Texas oldest wineries. All right, which is Messina Hoff. Their original location is in College Station, which isn't that far from you. Yeah.
Cool. Right on. Yeah. I not to be a little off topic. Well, maybe it is, but I saw your social and you're a whiskey guy too.
What?
Whiskey.
Yeah, I actually have a moonshine bar in my office.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and I have a podcast on Monday night with another friend that we taste. She's a whiskey fanatic as well. We taste all kinds of alcohol and pair it with food. So, but yeah, I am big in Texas, actually down in, it's west of Austin, and it's a distillery called Iron Wolf that we love. But then right down the street from them is a winery that we go to. It's called Spicewood. The town, town's called Spicewood.
That's cool.
It's Spicewood Winery that we're members of both of those. So.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, question number 3, your last question is Superman or Batman?
I got to go with Superman. He just seems more powerful.
My guest earlier this week, when I brought that up, she said Superman, he's more positive. If you think about Batman, he's a more dark, sinister character.
Yeah, and I think there's a new Batman coming out, and I think that's kind of what they're trying to push for. So.
Yeah. So, and she's like, I'm all about positivity and light and energy. She said, Superman gives you a light and energy. Batman gives you dark and sinister, like it's almost like you don't want to be around it. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
So she mentioned it, and I was like, now I can't get it out of my mind.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bat, and he lives in a
cave. Yeah.
In a cave. Yeah.
Well, I do, Charlie, I do appreciate you coming on the show. All right, being my guest, taking time out of your busy schedule today to come on here and share with my audience. I appreciate that, man, so much. And I hope we get to see each other again. So, but thanks again for coming on.
I have a feeling we will.
Cool. So, to you guys, the listeners, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Go over and check out what Charlie's doing, man. They're at Cap TX USA, captexasusa.com. All right. Maybe get yourself some gear and help him sponsor some great athletes here in the state of Texas. I'm Tim Gillette with Tim Gillette Show. I'll be back with another guest next week. In the meantime, guys, have a great week. Bye.
Bye.